Hello there. How are you doing? All right, so today I wanted to talk a bit about time management and focus when you have ADHD, or even if you just have like multiple interests that you dive deep into and then drop them 6 months later and completely redefine your entire life. Um, so for me, I wasted a lot of money. And I wouldn't say I've wasted time, but I've spent a lot of time pursuing things that didn't actually make sense for me. Uh, for example, went to school for like game development and then was like, oh, I don't want like a job where I'm working super late and it's only fun when I'm doing it like for myself and like not as a job. And then I went to Pilates teacher training and decided that I was going to do Pilates and I was going to become a physical therapist. So I started going to school for both and eventually ended up dropping physical therapy after a couple of semesters and then also dropping Pilates teacher training because I realized I just wanted to go to Pilates classes and not teach. So this has been the cycle of my life where I find something that I love and I put my whole heart into it and put my whole identity around it, right? And then once I get tired of it, I drop it hard. And I think, in talking to my therapist and also being an old lady, I've realized that this is something that can be a strength if it's wielded properly. And what I mean by that is being able to dive into things deeply and widely is not a weakness. It's just managing all that time you're spending and, getting something out of life while still letting yourself explore like you want to. But in order to get things out of life, right, you need consistency. And I'm a bit of a type A person, which makes my, experience with ADHD a bit harder because it's like I have two wolves inside me, and one of them is like a type A loser, and the other one is like some girl that can't focus on anything for longer than 15 minutes. But that being said, you need consistency in order to achieve things in life, right? Like all good things come through consistent action. So, how do we create systems in our life that allow us to stay on track and also work towards our strengths and like giving us time and space and leftover energy to go pursue whatever crazy random like thing that we're currently into. So this is my attempt at creating a system that changes with me. It's not necessarily easy, but it's flexible. And it gives me actual results in life and an actual sense of achievement while also allowing my brain to do whatever it wants the rest of the time. So I'm going over here. And what? This wasn't just a blank word doc. I know. Cinema. So I break up my life to three categories. You can see two of the categories right now, but I'm going to keep the last one up in the air for suspense. So, number one, you have to work. Probably. If not, don't even put it down, right? But more likely than not, you're going to have to work. So, I think maybe this seems a bit silly to some people, but getting clear on like what you want to do for work is a great idea. Like it gives you this sort of grounding to know that I'm doing what I need to do to make enough money to fund the rest of my life. And it also gives you the freedom to not worry about making money in other ways. Like if you want to become a writer, You don't have to worry about monetizing. You can just be a writer. Because in my experience, monetizing makes things suck, makes things a job. So being clear on what is for work and letting everything else be passion and energy based, I think is a great idea. So for me, I like having two sources of income. But for somebody with ADHD, a lot of the times having multiple like income sources or like two part-time jobs instead of one full-time job can really help you stay engaged. So for me, I'm currently in school, but once I'm done with school, I'm going to work on teaching English, and then another job part-time that gets me out of the house. This is something that's sort of working right now. I work closer to 30 hours a week and I only go into office once, but I still talk to people. I still learn. It's not my dream job or even like a job that really fits this category because I'm not getting out of the house. I could go to the office, but nobody's there. So it's like, whatever. But I'm okay with the 30 hours because I'm also not making money in the other way. Though this does take a lot of time. You know, it does. But yeah, step one, get clear on what you do for work. Like, what is my career? Next, values. This is the second of the three categories. So values provide structure without providing rigidity. The goal of the values is that they're specific enough that they're actionable and also not so specific that they are tying you in to something. So what I mean by this is like a value could be, I want to be a good person. That's great, but like, what does that exactly mean? Not much. Like, what are you going to do to be a good person? How do you even define that, right? So it could be like, I want to be politically active, or I want to volunteer or be involved in a religious organization, or like whatever that specific thing is. Like, get one level deeper, but not like so deep that's like, I volunteer at this and this place, or I volunteer 3 times a week, because those things are putting structure on the values. You want the values to be specific but not structured, I guess, if that makes sense. I hope it does. So really quick for me, if you care, I think, and also leaving it to like 6 or 7 values, I think is a good idea. And these things sort of define like what I'm doing. So my values are, I read a lot. I do have a specific rotation list, but that's just because this helps me from reading 8 different books at the same time. I live well below my means, and I have a little, you can see, right? I have a line where I get a little bit more specific. Like for me, well below my means is under 4K a month. I'm a good caregiver, so my pets, the people I love, it's like friends, family, cats, like being good to people that I love is important to me. I practice TCM, traditional Chinese medicine. I feel like this is sort of a brave thing to put in the era of white girls doing the you met me at a very Chinese time in my life trend. I've been practicing TCM for like 6 or 7 years now. I travel widely. Traveling is like the thing that means the most to me in the world. Honestly, it's like easily my biggest expense, but I love to travel. And I also get a little specific here. I do not try to be productive when I travel. Like, traveling is my time to let my mind just explore wherever I am. I take care of my physical space. This is important to me. I think having a clean space is also really good for ADHD. Not to like pressure you, put that on your list, but I just think a clean, functional house is like a clean, functional mind. Now, lastly, the rituals. The rituals are what gives you results in life. And I think rituals are also where, if you are like me and you're prone to making yourself as busy as possible, this is where you might run into some problems. Because you can go kind of ham with rituals. I would personally say I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rituals. I say this is the absolute max. Like, do not do more than this. I think this might even be like one too many. Because the important thing here is that these are like the grounding things. The whole point of this list is it's grounding. Like, this is your reality, and then you can do whatever the hell you want the rest of the time. And just getting clear on what grounds me and what is free time. But rituals are essentially, unless you just like love your work, for me, I need to create outside of work, and I want to be consistent so I can actually finish things and have meaningful work. So rituals are things that take maybe 30 minutes at most, and you do them every single day, non-negotiable. Like, this is what I have to do. The values are not something you have to do every single day. The values just sort of guide you. They're just like a way to offload mentally. The rituals are obligations. They're like high commitment hobbies. So you can see what mine are. I can go through them really quick, and I'll talk more about like how to structure your own. So book writing. I write in like a novel at the moment, but I wanted to keep this open. So I originally started with novel. I switched to book. At least 15 minutes a day, up to 30. And occasional hour-long sessions as energy and time allows. But I never am like, I'm going to do an hour today. It's always, I'm going to sit down for at least 15 minutes and aim for an hour. Or sorry, I'm going to sit down for 15 minutes and aim for 30 minutes. And when I do that, I normally hit 30 minutes. Commentary, that is what you're seeing right now. One of my things that I think is like so enriching in my life is thinking about things and then like regurgitating them either by writing or orally telling people, like orating my thoughts. So that's sort of what this is, and I think it fits really well with ADHD because it's really a free-for-all. Like, I can talk and write about whatever I want, and I rotate between these 4 things. Next one is working out. I think that I think a lot of ADHD people really benefit from working out, because if you're doing anything where your mind is very busy, whether it's like knowledge work, studying, or you have ADHD so you don't have a choice, working out is like that time you get out of your head and into your body. It's also good for you, obviously. But and the last one is learning languages. This is something that I've always loved to do, but have struggled with consistency. I've studied a lot of languages, and I'm conversational-ish in Spanish. I know basic French, basic German, basic Chinese. The one language that I've been the most consistent with, outside of Spanish, I guess, is Japanese. So I've been studying Japanese consistently, very big deal, for about a year and a half now. And this is sort of my daily schedule. So if you're interested in also learning a language, I actually do recommend this schedule. I also meet with tutors, but I do literal one section of a workbook, like one exercise. It takes me about 5 minutes, but it's just like grammar reps every day. 15 to 30 minutes of comprehensible listening. And if you are learning languages and you don't know about comprehensible input, you should do that. You should look up comprehensible input. It's like the main thing. Trust. And that's the most fun thing. So I do 15 to 30 minutes of comprehensible listening, and then I have like an Anki setup that I use. The last one of the rituals is day and night routines, and this is literally what it looks like. It's a day and a night routine. I put basic cleaning stuff in here so that I'm keeping my home clean as well. And it's not crazy. You can see, like, it's kind of a normal routine, but I am the kind of person, again, loses my mind very easily and will just like not shower. Anyway, so that is basically my system, right? For managing multiple interests, ADHD, and my type A personality. That is the confluence of those three things. I hope something like this is helpful. Again, the three categories I recommend are work, values, rituals. Those work so well in my brain, but try things out and make your own system. That's how the system existed and started working for me. I think the important thing with ADHD is to stick with it, which is the hardest thing. But over time and experimenting, I promise you'll find something that works for you, and you're going to do amazing. Love you. Talk soon. Bye.